Welcome to class this evening. Just want to make sure this is definitely out of the frame. All right. Hello, my name is Meredith. Welcome to Homegrown from Home. I'll be leading you through a 60-minute Vinyasa all levels class this evening. I encourage you to make it comfortable for yourself, find a nice space anywhere that you have enough room. Trust me, if you're following any of my classes, you'll notice I have just enough space to practice here. So maybe you can even find a little bit more room than I have. And a mat or a towel, a rug, really anything you can get some grip on. Maybe a block or a pillow handy for a few supported poses. And otherwise, just make yourself comfortable, put on some music. I do have a playlist on my Spotify page. My name there is Meredith Wolf. You can find me on there, and the playlist is just called May 2020. And if you can't find that on Spotify, or if you're using another music service, just find anything that relaxes you, anything you find soothing, maybe something instrumental, or you can just search meditative music and something usually comes up. Other than that, we can get started. You're welcome to find any way you like to begin. It's the beauty of practicing at home. You can really find anything you need. So I'm going to start in a comfortable cross-legged seat. But maybe you find child's pose by bringing the knees wide on the mat. Then the big toes would come together to touch. You could bring the forehead to rest on the mat and the arms can extend overhead. Or you also might consider taking the hands back towards the feet so that the shoulders come to rest on the knees. It's just a gentle variation of the pose. It can feel really nice through the collarbones. So just don't be afraid to switch it up. Don't have to stay exactly where you are. If you need to come out and adjust, feel free. I'm coming to that cross-legged seat, stacking my spine up nice and tall. You can bring those palms to rest face down on top of the knees. Or maybe if you're trying to bring a little extra energy into the body to begin, you can turn the palms up to the sky and bring the thumb and forefinger together. Chin is parallel with the floor, the eyes begin to close. Relax the face, unclenching the jaw so that the lips are together and the teeth are slightly apart. Then you're focusing that internal gaze right beyond your nose and drawing your attention to your breath, focusing on where you're beginning here. Did you immediately come into those inhales and exhales through the nose, finding that Ujjayi breath? Or maybe you're still in that daily breath. It's a little different for everyone. So that's why we focus on that Ujjayi breathing in our class, to really draw our attention into the body. Begin that meditation. Deep inhales fill the lungs all the way to the very top. Full exhales rinse the lungs completely. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Really taking a few moments to find that breath before we begin to move through our practice. I said it before, but I really seem to notice it. The longer we stay away from the studios, it's harder and harder to maintain that breath when you're practicing at home. You don't have that camaraderie of other students around you, that audible inhale and exhale across the back of the throat can really make a difference. And the more you can maintain it through your practice, the more it will protect the body. And hopefully, the more you'll be able to stay present in the movement. Take another inhale and exhale. Finding one or two more while I explain our breath technique. We'll find a few box breaths together. It's a very simple way to ground the breath and attention. We'll take a 4-count inhale, and then we'll hold that inhale at the top of the lungs for a 4 count. And then we'll exhale for a count of 4. And pause at the bottom of that exhale for a count of 4, completing the box breath. We'll do 2 on our own, I'll guide you through 2, and you'll take 1 on your own. So take a deep breath in, full breath out, and We'll begin. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Breath in. 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 1, 2, 3, 4. Breathing out. 4, 3, 2, 1, and pause. 4, 3, 2, 1. Taking one breath on your own. Back to that regular, steady ujjayi. Deep breath in, deep breath out. As you're ready, those eyes can open. I'm going to switch out my legs here in this cross-legged position. First stay. If you're in a child's pose, come up to this cross-legged seat. And if you're already here, we're just going to stay here a moment longer, rooting into the sits bones. We'll take an inhale to reach the arms overhead. Maybe you touch the palms. Maybe you look up. Then as you exhale, bring one hand down to the mat and lean in that direction, bending that bottom elbow as much as you need to, reaching that top hand overhead. You're spinning that pinky of the top hand down towards the mat, maybe turning the gaze up under that armpit or down to that hand. Breathe in, breathe out. Both hips stay on the floor. Inhale and exhale. Breath in to come back up, both palms maybe touch. Exhale, other hand comes down and into that elbow and reach that top hand towards whichever side you've switched to. We're just figuring it out one side at a time. It doesn't matter which way you start. Breathe in. Exhale. Last breath in. Last breath out. Inhale, palms overhead. Exhaling through the heart, bringing them on, finding your way onto all fours, coming into a tabletop position. Knees under the hips, wrists under the shoulders. And we're just going to find a few cat-cows to wake up the spine, work out that low back. Take a breath in to drop the belly, tilt the tailbone towards the sky, and roll that heart open. Exhale to bow the head, tuck the tailbone, and round the spine. 2 more like that. Breathing in, collarbones spread wide. And exhale, we round and tuck the head, press into the palms. Deep breath in, heart opens. Full breath out into that angry cat pose. Come back to your neutral spine. The knees will come together to touch. On the inhale, we're going to lift that right leg to hip height. I'm going to scooch forward here just to make sure I can actually kick it out. Perfect. The right toes will flex towards the face, but don't be afraid to roll out that ankle at first. Sometimes that's a nice little release for the calf muscle. Once the toes are flexing towards the face, you can focus on spinning that pinky toe just ever so slightly down towards the mat, engaging that inner right thigh. Gaze can stay down between the palms. Take a breath in and a breath out. Maybe walk the fingertips of the left hand forward on the mat. Maybe you even extend that left arm all the way forward, spinning that pinky finger down once again. I'm going to leave my hand down here for the sake of space. Engage that belly. Take a breath in and a breath out. Another inhale to extend. This time as you exhale, round and tap the elbow to meet the knee underneath you for a crunch. Breath in to extend. Breath out, tap. Inhale to lift, spinal balance. Exhale to tap. Breath in, breath out. Last round, we'll inhale and exhale. Take a final breath in to lift that right leg. And then exhale, bring the ball of the right foot down. Left hand comes back to the mat in line with the right. And then we're finding a calf stretch here. Give me 1 second. You're pressing that ball of the right foot down to the mat. Right heel is extending towards the back of your mat. So you feel that stretch through the back of the right leg. Head maybe gently shakes side to side. Breathing in, breathing out. One more inhale and exhale. Take a moment, come back to your tabletop position, rebend that right knee. We'll rinse with a cat-cow, breathing in, belly drops, heart opens. And then exhale to bow the head. Knees come back together to touch, starting with a neutral spine. Take an inhale to lift that left leg to hip height. Maybe rolling out the ankle, but eventually left toes flexing towards the face. Pinky toe gently spins down. Take a breath in and a breath out. Maybe right hand comes forward to fingertips or extends all the way ahead of you, really reaching long through that right arm, bicep along the face if that arm is lifted. Take a breath in and a full breath out. Another inhale to lengthen through that leg. And then as you exhale, we round into the crunch, knee to the elbow. Breath in to lift, breath out to tap. Inhale and exhale. Breath in, breath out. Spine is rounding on the exhale. Inhaling, breathe out. One more, inhale to lift, exhale to crunch. Final breath in to lift the left leg. Exhale to bring the ball of the foot down, finding that stretch for the left calf, really working that left heel towards the back of the mat. You should feel it at the bottom of the left leg. Maybe shake that head gently side to side for breath in, breath out. Find one more. Slowly rebending that left knee. We'll take an inhale to a cow pose, rolling that heart open. And then as you exhale, take the knees wide, big toes touch, and just find a child's pose for 2 or 3 breaths. Forehead comes to the mat, arms reaching overhead. If you want a little bit more through the shoulders, you can find the fingertips here and engaging through the arms. Either way, 2 more breaths. Inhale, exhale. One more on your own. Plant the palms. Take an inhale to roll back into that cow pose. Heart open, shins come parallel with one another. Then as you exhale, you'll tuck the toes, lift the knees, and press the hips to your downward facing dog. Taking a few moments to settle into the pose, you can slowly pedal out one heel and then the other, maybe taking a breath at each side. Or the hips can swivel side to side, wagging your tail. Just anything you need to work out that spine. We all have a lot going on. Some of us are still stuck at home. Some of us are out trying to make up for lost time. So whatever you're doing, I'm sure your spine can use a little bit of love. Eventually, the heels will settle towards the mat. You want to keep the feet about 6 inches apart, just being able to touch the arch of one foot with the heel of the other. Don't be afraid to gently bend the knees. Might help you tilt that tailbone a little higher towards the sky as you press the chest back towards your thighs. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. 2 more right here. Hone into it. Breath in. Full breath out. Last one. Inhale. And exhale. This breath in will rise to the toes. Bend the knees deeply. As you exhale, look forward and slowly walk to your hands at the top of the mat. Big toes touch, heels are slightly apart. Bend those knees into a fold for an inhale and exhale. Breath in, palms come to the shins, right below the knees for your halfway lift. Shoulder blades are rolling towards the tailbone, so those collarbones are nice and flat. Breath in, breath out. Take one more inhale here. Exhaling back to the fold. Breath in to come all the way up. Palms can touch overhead. And then as you exhale, you've got an option here. We're going to mix up the sun A's just a little bit this evening. You've got two little variations you can find. I'd encourage you to find one or the other. Maybe you alternate every sun salutation. So we'll inhale here at the top. Then as you exhale, you can either take that right hand just outside the right thigh and lean towards it with the left arm, just a standing variation of that seated side bend. Or you can start at that inhale, arms up, and you can find a twist, taking that right arm back and the left arm forward. Really, whichever feels better on your shoulders. Then we're just going to inhale it back up and switch it out, whichever way you've chosen, to the other side. I'm going to cue an alternation. I'll be cueing side bend and then twist next time around, and we're going to do 4. So you can come with me or you can make it your own. So coming back up to that top inhale, arms reaching up. As you exhale, I'm bending towards the right side, right arm down. Breath in to come up. Exhaling, left arm down and leaning towards it. Big inhale to come back up. And then exhale, I'm going to fold through heart center. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhaling to plant the palms, step it back to a high plank position. You can drop the knees and then lift the toes at any time. But maybe set up this first high plank, nice and firm, big toes touching, heels reach back, crown of the head reaches forward. Press into the palms to fill the space across the shoulder blades and take a deep inhale, full exhale. One more breath in right here and a breath out. This inhale will drop the knees together and lift the toes. As you exhale, lower it nice and slow to the belly. The palms will come to the small of the waist. We'll take a breath into a baby cobra, just lifting through the heart. And then exhale, slowly lowering down. This time, come up halfway, keep a little bend in the elbows. And then exhale slowly to the mat. This time, our full cobra, press into the palms, take a breath in, come up to long arms. Maybe you tilt the chin up. Exhale slowly back to your downward facing dog, coming over the knees, tucking the toes, and lifting the hips. That was our first one. Take a breath in to rise. Exhale to come to the top of the mat. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale to fold. Breath in to come all the way up. This time I'm going to twist, exhaling my right arm back, left arm forward. Inhale to lift. Exhale, opening the other direction. Breath in to come up. And exhaling to fold through center. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Exhale, palms plant. You find your high to low push-up, knees lifted or not. Breathe in through a cobra or maybe up dog by lifting the thighs. And then exhaling, downward facing dog. Deep breath in, we rise and bend. Exhale to come to that fold at the top. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhaling to fold. Big breath in, come all the way up to the top. This time I'm going to side bend. Exhaling, right hand down and leaning towards it. Breath in to come up. Exhaling to the left, reaching in that direction. Inhale to lift, maybe you look up. And then exhale to fold, or maybe swan dive, splitting the palms. Breath in, halfway. Big breath out. Find your chaturanga, any version you'd like. Breathing in, up dog or cobra. Exhaling to down dog. Last one through. Inhale to rise. Exhale to come all the way to the top in your fold. Breath in, halfway lift. Breath out to exhale, to fold. Inhale, come on up, reach for it. This time I'm twisting on the exhale, right arm back. Breath in to lift. Breath out, other side. Inhaling, arms up. And exhale to fold it down to the toes. Breath in, halfway lift. Exhaling to plant the palms. Step it back, find your way through a chaturanga. Breathing in, cobra or up dog. And then exhaling, we all meet. Downward facing dog. Breathing in, breathing out. Maybe you settle to check in with the breath. Maybe you find a little movement, pedaling the heels. 2 more, inhale and exhale. Last one, breathe in and breathe out. This breath in, the right leg will lift to our 3-legged dog. For me, I'm beginning with the knee bent. I'm constrained for space here. So you have the option to straighten that leg and keep the hip squared off, or maybe you bend the knee and square the hip. You could even find little pulses if you choose. Or you can bend the knee, peel the hip open, just being sure to keep that chest squaring towards the mat so that the twist comes from the hip and not the rib cage. Take a breath in and a breath out. 1 more, inhale. And then as you exhale, that right foot is going to step through to replace the right palm. The left foot will come to 45 degrees at the back of the mat, maybe stepping up slightly. And then as you're ready, you'll inhale the arms up and open to warrior 1. Or excuse me, not open. You're squaring off towards the front of the mat here. Hips squaring forward, bending into that right knee, making sure that the knee does not go beyond your ankle. And then those left toes are pointing towards the front left corner of your mat. If you're having a hard time squaring that left hip, try widening the stance slightly in the feet. Deep breath in, full breath out. Another inhale and exhale. This breath in, palms will touch overhead. As you exhale, bring them to the low back. Either interlace the hands here or take opposite hand to opposite elbow across the back. It's the option I'm going to start with here. Take an inhale to tilt the chin up. Maybe you roll the heart open. And then as you exhale, you'll begin to hinge the upper body towards that right knee, coming into your humble warrior. That right shoulder will drop inside the right knee, continuing to square that left shoulder down and forward towards the mat, keeping that warrior 1 shape in the legs. You're welcome to gently rest the right shoulder on that knee as well. Head hangs nice and heavy here in your humble warrior. If those hands are interlaced, you might begin to let them float towards the back of the head. Breathe in. Breathe out. Another inhale. And exhale. Breath in. Slowly find a halfway lift and release the hands to fingertips, framing that front foot. Take 1 inhale here and exhale. As you're ready, you'll take a breath in to come all the way up, touching the palms overhead. Exhaling to pull them through heart center. Plant them down and find a high to low push-up. You can always keep this right foot floating as you lower, or maybe both knees come down. Breath in, up dog or cobra to open the heart. And then exhale to your downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. On your next inhale, it's the left leg that lifts this time, finding your variation of your 3-legged dog. No matter what you're doing with that left leg, the chest continues to press towards the right thigh. Right heel still sinks towards the mat. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. 1 more inhale wherever you are. And then as you exhale, you'll step that left foot through to the left hand. Right foot might come forward about half a step, and you'll turn the toes 45 degrees. Take that breath in to come up with the arms when you're ready. You can always do a little check-in with the hips here. Make sure they're squaring nicely. Check in with that front knee to make sure it's not jutting beyond the ankle. Full breath in, arms coming up. Deep breath out. Another breath in. And a full breath out. This inhale, palms will touch overhead. As you exhale, find your variation. Maybe opposite hand to opposite elbow, or interlacing the hands at the low back. Take a breath in to tilt the chin upward. You might roll open the heart. And then as you exhale, hinging towards that left knee, humble warrior. Left shoulder drops inside that left knee. If you have that shoulder, like I do, actually wedged just inside the knee, you can actually use it to help you keep that warrior one shape by not allowing your knee to collapse in towards the right. You're gonna gently square everything off and peel it slightly open. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale and exhale. Take a breath in, just slowly lift to a halfway lift and release the hands. Take an exhale here. And on your next inhale, lift it back up. Palms touching. Exhale to come through heart center. Find your high to low push-up. Making your way through chaturanga, I will meet you all in downward facing dog. Don't be afraid to take a drink if you need it. I need it. It's pretty dry in here. My throat's getting quite scratchy. All right, being in that downward dog, we'll take one breath in together and a deep breath out. This inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Exhale to square it off, step it through, warrior one. Left foot 45 degrees, we'll inhale, palms coming to touch. Exhale right away to interlace or cross the low back. Breath in, maybe you tilt the chin up. Exhale to hinge it forward into that humble warrior. One breath in here. And one breath out. Inhaling to your halfway lift, hands come to the low back if they weren't already there. Hands will release down, and we're going to begin to swivel towards the left long edge of our mat, finding a nice wide leg fold. You can step this right foot up in line with the left. Toes might turn slightly in, heels slightly out. Take a moment on long arms or fingertips to breathe in, extending that spine. And then as you exhale, fold your way into it. Hands can begin to reach through the legs towards the right edge of the mat. Or maybe you take peace fingers around the big toes and gently bend the elbows. Taking 2 or 3 breaths here. Finding a little release. Head may gently shake yes or no. Take one more breath in and a full breath out. Inhale to slowly walk it back out to long arms. And then exhale to swivel to a low runner's lunge at the front of the mat. Just means all 10 toes turn forward so the feet are back in line. The left hand will stay down inside the right foot, and we'll take a breath in to reach the right arm to the sky, finding your twisted low lunge. Right arm is reaching up, the left knee can come down at any time, but if that knee is lifted, the left heel is reaching towards the back of the mat. Take one more breath in, and then exhale, right hand comes back down to that lunge. On your inhale, you're going to lift and cartwheel open to your warrior two, dropping that back heel to parallel with the back edge of the mat. Find that heel to arch alignment, heel of the right foot, arch of the left, extending the arms long. Hips and heart are opening towards that left edge as the gaze turns forward. Breathe in, breathe out. Another here to inhale and exhale. Take one more to stay. Breath in and a full breath out. Flipping that front palm. We'll breathe into reverse our warrior. And then as you exhale, cartwheel it all the way down and find your way through chaturanga. Right foot can step back to meet the left. Maybe you float that foot or drop the knees. Breathing in, up dog or cobra. And exhaling to downward facing dog. Take a full breath in and a deep breath out. This inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog, your variation. Exhaling to step that through to the left foot to set up for your warrior one. Breath in to lift overhead. And then exhale, hands come to the low back or cross. Inhale, chin tilts up, maybe you open the heart. Exhaling to hinge into your humble warrior. Left shoulder inside the left knee for one breath in and one breath out. Inhaling to your halfway lift and then releasing the hands on the exhale, beginning to swivel. This time, I believe you're all swiveling towards the right edge of your mat, but I'm still on the same side. Finding that wide leg fold on the other side, we're going to find a little arm twist here. So take a moment, fingertips or palms on long arms, take a breath in and a breath out. You're going to plant that left hand on the floor directly beneath your face. And on the inhale, take that right arm to the sky, twisting slightly, keeping that low back nice and flat, maybe even taking the palm there to make sure. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. One more inhale here. And then exhaling slowly, right hand comes back to the floor to replace the left. Inhale, take that left arm to the sky. Maybe you look up at it, or maybe you look down at the right hand. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more inhale. Exhaling, left hand slowly down. We'll flow it twice. Left hand plants. Breathe in, take that right arm up. Exhale to slowly bring it down. Inhaling, left arm to the sky. Exhale to the floor. Last one. Breath in to reach up. Exhale down. Last side. Inhale, left up. Exhaling to the floor. Take one final inhale here on long arms. And then as you exhale, you're swiveling towards that left foot, squaring it all off to that low runner's lunge. That right hand is going to stay down inside the left foot. And then you'll inhale to take that left arm to the sky. That right heel is reaching back just like it did in our initial calf stretch. And that left hip is tucking in line with the body, not jutting out towards the edge of your mat. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more inhale. And then exhaling, left hand comes down. On your next breath in, you'll drop that back heel to parallel and cartwheel the arms up to your warrior two. Settling into it, looking for that heel to arch alignment. The arms come long. As you're ready, left knee is gently opening towards the edge of that left foot. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Another inhale. And exhale. Last one here. Breathe in. Breathe out. We'll flip that front palm. Inhale to reverse. And exhale to cartwheel down to find your way through a chaturanga of your choosing. I'll meet you there in downward dog. Switching sides. You can always drop the knees through that chaturanga, or you can even skip them all together. Go to downward dog. Whatever you need, towel off, grab a drink. These transitional moments are the time to do it. We'll all meet in downward dog, taking a breath in and a breath out. On this inhale, right leg will lift, three-legged dog. As you exhale, step through warrior two right away between the palms. Left foot comes parallel with the back. Inhale to cartwheel the arms up. And exhaling into that warrior two. Flip that front palm, breathe in to reverse. Right arm to the sky, and then exhale to bring that forearm down to the thigh, setting up your side angle. This is our only side angle this evening. We're gonna hold it for about 5 breaths. So make it what you need it to be. I'm gonna take my block at the tallest height, bring it inside that foot to stack my wrist on top, fist on top, excuse me, and then taking my left arm to the sky. You have variations, of course. You can take that left hand to the back right pocket for a half bind, or you might float that arm overhead for a different, deeper stretch to that armpit. Finding what you need, breathe in, breathe out. Another inhale and exhale. Gaze can be down at that right foot. 2 more, breath in, breath out. Last one, inhale and exhale. On this next breath in, we're going to reverse. Up to you if you want to straighten that right leg to make it a reverse trikonasana. Exhale to stay just 1 moment. Take another breath in to reach that right arm back. And then exhaling, we're going to cartwheel and step left foot to meet the right in a fold at the top of the mat. Take a moment to bend the knees, shake out those feet, and even the head. 1 breath in, 1 breath out. Inhale to a halfway lift. And then as you exhale, sink those hips towards the heels. Maybe lift those arms overhead for Utkatasana, chair pose. Legs are squeezing together. Hands can always come to the heart, of course. But you're opening through that heart. Big toes touch. Heels slightly apart, and then sinking that weight towards the heels, maybe even lifting the toes. Full breath in, deep breath out. 1 more to stay right here. Inhale and exhale. And we're going to slowly begin to stand, but we're going to bring that left foot with us, lifting that left knee towards the chest. And then, of course, you can go from here, make it anything you need it to be. But if you'd like to come with me, I'm going to find a figure 4 pose. Maybe. I'm going to step off my mat onto a firmer surface. If you're coming into figure 4, it's still Utkatasana in that right leg. But now that left heel is stacked on top of the knee. You're keeping this left foot engaged to protect your left knee. And you're beginning to sink. Doesn't matter how how far open that left knee goes. Ooh, everyone's hip is different. Finding whatever works. 2 more. Inhale. Exhale. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take a breath in to unravel, lifting that left knee back to the chest. Maybe you take the arms overhead. And then exhale everything through heart center to a fold. Inhale through a halfway lift. And then exhale through your chaturanga, whatever that means to you right now. Breathing in, finding a little heart opener. And then exhaling to meet in downward facing dog. Heels sink, hips are lifted. Breathe in, breathe out. This inhale, that left leg lifts, 3-legged dog. As you exhale, step it through between the palms, coming right up to our warrior 2. Take that inhale to cartwheel the arms up. Exhale, settling through the legs. Deep breath in, left arm to the sky to reverse. And then exhaling, forearm comes down to that thigh. Maybe you bring a block with you. In this case, a sturdy book can make a really good replacement for a block if you don't have one handy. Finding your variation of your side angle. Maybe that right hand tucks to that half bind. Maybe you find a full bind, knowing that a towel or any sort of strap or even a necktie can be really useful to get that full bind. Deep breath in, deep breath out. 2 more together. Inhale and exhale. Last one, breathe in, fill those lungs. And breathe it out. This inhale, we will reverse. Maybe you straighten that left leg. As you know, this is one of my favorite poses. Exhaling here. Take one more breath in. And then exhale to cartwheel it down. Step foot to foot at the top of the mat in a fold. Take a moment, shake everything out here. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Inhale to your halfway lift, flat spine. And then exhale, sink the hips. Find your Utkatasana, chair pose. Really squeezing those legs together here to take some of that stress off the low back. All of the work is in the legs here. Deep breath in. Full breath out. One more round to stay. Inhale. And exhale. Now the weight comes into the left foot this time. You're going to begin to stand, but bring that right knee with you to the chest. Then you'll take that heel onto the left knee, making sure to keep this right foot engaged and flexed to protect this knee. Woo. And then as you're ready, you can begin to sink into that left leg for your figure four. Making it what you need it to be. Of course, you can always bring it deeper by reaching towards the floor. That flexibility is there for you. Breathe in, breathing out. Two more together. Inhale and exhale. Last one. Breath in, breath out. Inhale to come back up. Maybe you reach the arms up as you lift that right knee. And then exhale, folding everything through to the top of the mat. Take a moment, widen the feet, hip width or mat width. Finding a forward fold of your choice. For me, that's going to be a ragdoll, taking opposite hand to opposite elbow. And then letting that head go between the arms. You can gently twist it out or sway side to side. If you need something a little deeper in the shoulders, you can interlace and find that folded arm stretch like we did in our warrior one, or excuse me, our humble warrior. Take one or two more breaths wherever you are, just releasing the head and shoulders. Maybe releasing those hands back to the mat, feet toe heel back together to touch. And then over the next 2 rounds of breath, begin to roll it up to standing. Knees are nice and soft as you do so. Beginning to stack one vertebrae at a time. There's no rush at all to get to the top. Head and the shoulders are the last to rise. Take a moment to root into your Tadasana. Once again, toes are together, heels are slightly apart. This time you're gently tugging that tailbone forward and engaging the length of the legs. You can imagine that your tailbone is as straight as it possibly can be, so therefore you're standing as tall as you can. Palms are open by the sides, facing forward, eyes are closed. Take an inhale to roll the shoulders up. Exhale to roll them down. 2 more here, nice and strong, rooted on your own strength. Breath in, breath out. 1 more inhale, and exhale. This inhale will take the arms overhead, maybe the eyes stay closed. As you exhale, fold it through center to the toes. Breath in to your halfway lift. Breath out through a chaturanga, high to low, any way you want to go. Breath in to lift the heart, up dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and a deep breath out. 1 more here together, inhaling and exhale. Breath in to rise to the toes, bend those knees deep. And then as you exhale, step the feet outside the hands, coming into your Buddha squat. Not going to stay here long. Toes turn out. For me, the elbows press to the knees, hands at the heart. You're welcome to open the heart and tilt the chin upward. Maybe you even find a crow pose here if you're egging for it. But pressing the weight towards the outer edges of the feet here will help you lift gently out of the hips and engage them better. Breath in, breath out. One more inhale. And then as you exhale, bring the bum down, bring the legs together into your Navasana boat pose. Last little bit of effort here. You can always bring the hands behind the knees, but wherever you are, maybe even if those legs are straightened, you're being sure to lift that heart forward towards the knees the entire time. Deep inhale, and then exhale, we'll lower halfway down. Breath in to come up, breath out to lower. Inhale to lift, exhale, come down. 3 more, breath in, breath out. Inhale to lift, exhale to lower, breath in, woo, breath out. Holding here for an inhale. Oh, and then exhale, let it go to the mat. If you've got space, you can find a full body stretch, taking those arms overhead, maybe paddling out the feet, anything that feels good here. Another option would be to bring the knees into the chest and give them a nice squeeze, maybe rolling side to side on the mat. From here, those arms can go out to a T with the palms facing down, or maybe if you're confined, you'll just find cactus arms, bending at the elbows, turning the palms to the sky. We'll take a breath in with the knees at center, and then as you exhale, drop the knees over to the right, rolling onto that hip, and then turn the gaze to the left hand. Being sure to keep the shoulder blades on the mat as much as possible. That will help keep this twist in the spine. If you need a little bit more, right hand comes on top of that left knee. And if you need a little less, you can just bring a block or a pillow, really anything in between the knees. Taking 2 or 3 more rounds of inhales and exhales. Eyes are closed. On your next big inhale, knees will come back through center. Exhaling to take them over to the left. Now coming onto that hip. Gaze will turn towards the right hand. Shoulder blades stay evenly on the mat. Breath in, breath out. 2 more, just like that. Eyes can close down. On your inhale, the knees will come back through center. You can always give them a squeeze in the process. We're just going to find one more little piece of hip work this evening, just a reclining half pigeon. It's actually much like that figure 4. I'm just going to revisit that same sort of arrangement in the hip. Sometimes after you find that stretch one time, when you come back to it, you can get a little further into it. So just about 3 or 4 breaths. That right heel will come once again on top of the left knee. You'll flex that foot, protecting the right knee. And then as you're ready, that left leg comes towards the chest. I interlace my hands and bring them on top of the left knee. And then you should feel that sensation in the hip. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty warmed up right now, so I feel like I'm actually making a little progress here. Never pushing yourself to the point of pain, of course, but don't shy away from a little bit of sensation. Taking 2 more rounds of breath. Slowly release that left leg. Shake both of them out, maybe pedaling. Then that left heel will come on top of the right knee. Once again, work that right leg towards the chest to find that stretch in the left hip. Keeping that left foot nice and flexed. Just breathing into it. Just about 2 or 3 more rounds of breath. Eyes can be closed. You can always tuck a pillow under the head. Gently release that right leg. Pedal out nice and slow. And then the feet will come onto the mat right at hip width distance. If you're not sure how far apart that is, you can bring the feet together and then toe heel them apart once. Then the heels will work in close to the body. We'll start with the arms long. We're going to move into our back bend. If you know that you want some support handy, like me, maybe you keep that block nearby. I'm going to cue for 2 back bends. So the first one will be a traditional bridge, and the second one will be a supported bridge. But if you want to mix those up in any way, or sit one out, or make it all one big supported bridge, feel free to do whatever you need. Starting with the arms long, we'll take a breath in to prepare. As you exhale, press into the feet and lift those hips towards the sky. For traditional bridge, those palms can press into the mat behind the heels. You can press the length of your arms down to lift a little higher, but you can also interlace the hands and tuck the shoulders in and then press the arms down to lift perhaps even higher. Find a dramatic breath wherever you are. Big inhales and exhales, watching that belly rise and fall, rinsing the body with every breath. Maybe 2 more. And then exhale to slowly lower, unraveling the spine, bringing the hips down. You can cactus those arms once again. Step those feet forward about half a step, and then slowly windshield wiper the knees side to side. Maybe 1 more way each direction, or 1 more pass each direction. And then bringing those knees back in line, heels working close to the body once again. Maybe you find another traditional bridge, or maybe you bring a block or support along. Take an inhale to prepare, and then exhale to press into the feet once again, lifting the hips. I'm going to bring my block at its tallest height right to my low back for support. You can turn the palms upward and just find those deep Buddha belly breaths once again. Using those full inhales and exhales to open you and rinse out through the abdomen. Take 1 more deep round, inhaling and exhale. You can press into the feet to lift and remove that block, setting it aside. And then the feet will bend towards the face, taking the hands to the outer edges, stacking those ankles right over the knees. And then finding a dead bug here, rooting down at center, working on pressing as many vertebrae to the mat as possible, focusing particularly on the low back and the tailbone. Rooting firmly at center for a breath in and a breath out. And then if you'd like to, you can slowly roll side to side into your happy baby, trying to keep that spine pinned to the mat as much as possible. From here, I would encourage you all to find an inversion of your choice. A nice option is to take a block, pillow, anything you've been using, and just bring it to its lowest height under the low back, and then you can lift the feet to the sky. So supported shoulder stand. It's a nice little stretch and release, final stretch for that low back. Then you can roll out the ankles or splay the legs, anything that feels good. Or if you have a wall handy with nothing fragile hanging on it, you can just turn yourself towards the wall, hips coming right up against it, and take the legs up the wall like so. So really wonderful passive inversion, but you're getting so many benefits for the body. It rinses you out, reverses the flow of blood, gives that heart a nice little rest, really releases all that pressure on the hips and the low back. Not to mention there's plenty of detoxifying and anti-aging benefits. So just taking about 2 minutes here in an inversion. Of course, you're welcome to stay in that inversion, especially if it's a supported option, much longer if you'd like. But in about 2 minutes, I'll let you know that we're officially starting our Shavasana, our final relaxation. And I would encourage you to stay with me through that. It's really what all of this is for. That final moment to let yourself soak it all in. Just settling into your natural breath. If you haven't already brought your legs down, you might begin to do so slowly, finding your way into that final relaxation. Shavasana, just taking up space on your mat, taking those palms wide open towards the sky, letting the feet splay apart, just making yourself comfortable, beginning to soak up all the hard work you've done. Just a few minutes of relaxation, and I'll be sure to let you know when we're finished. If you're comfortable where you are, you can go ahead and stay right there for a few final moments. Otherwise, if you'd like, you might slowly roll onto the right side and find the fetal position for the last few breaths of stillness. And then slowly beginning to make your way to a seated position at the top of the mat. Hands can come to heart center for a final moment of gratitude. I want to thank you all for sharing your practice with me tonight. Together we'll take an inhale to lift our thumbs to the third eye, opening our hearts. And as we exhale, we'll bow and say, Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I hope you had a wonderful time, as I did. If you have any questions, you can always message me on Facebook or ask our homegrown team. And I will see you again next week. Have a good one.